A single man stood his ground against 20 soldiers. What happened next earned him the Victoria Cross. Leo Clarke was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba in 1892. He was an ordinary young man, working as a surveyor for the Canadian Pacific Railway before the First World War changed everything. In 1915, at 23 years old, Leo enlisted in the Canadian Expeditionary Force. He wasn't looking for glory, but like many others, he answered the call of duty to fight in a war that was supposed to end all wars. Leo Clarke was deployed to France and found himself in one of the most brutal battles of the war, the Battle of the Somme.
I remember the sound more than anything, the crack of gunfire, the boom of artillery, and the constant hum of chaos all around. We were advancing, crawling through mud, trying to take enemy trenches, but everything was a blur of noise and blood.
On September 9th, 1916, Clarke and his fellow soldiers advanced to capture enemy trenches near Pozières, France. It was hell on earth. Leo was tasked with clearing trenches when the unthinkable happened. Enemy soldiers launched a counterattack. In the chaos, Leo was cut off from his unit and suddenly faced 20 enemy soldiers charging toward him. Let that sink in. 20 soldiers. And Leo? Well, he had a rifle and pure determination.
It was me or them. My training kicked in, my hands moved on their own, reloading, aiming, firing. I took down enemy after enemy, not stopping for a second to think about how I was still standing.
After killing 19 enemy soldiers and capturing the last one alive, Clarke wasn't finished. Despite being wounded, he gathered his strength and held the trench. This is the kind of determination and grit that makes history. For this extraordinary bravery, Leo Clarke was awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest military decoration awarded for valor in the British Empire. Leo's name became known not just in Canada, but across the Commonwealth. This award wasn't just for him. It represented the courage of all those who fought and fell in those bloody trenches. Sadly, Clarke didn't live to see the end of the war. He was mortally wounded by an artillery shell just a month after his heroic act, dying on October 19th, 1916.
I didn't do it for glory. I didn't do it for medals. I did it because my comrades were counting on me, and that's what you do. You stand your ground.
Leo Clarke's story doesn't end with his death. Today, his bravery is remembered as part of Canada's military heritage. In fact, the street where he grew up in Winnipeg is named Valour Road, alongside 2 other Victoria Cross recipients from the same neighborhood. Imagine that. 3 heroes from one small street. Leo Clarke's story teaches us that sometimes ordinary people are called to do extraordinary things. His actions that day weren't about being a hero. They were about duty, courage, and protecting those around him. And for that, Leo Clarke is forever remembered as one of the most badass soldiers in Canadian history. So, the next time you walk down Valour Road or see a Victoria Cross, remember the name Leo Clarke, a man who stood his ground when it mattered most. Drop us a like and subscribe for more true badasses of history.